Welcome back. Our second school today is Quincy University. The Hawks entered the 2022 season with a 4-7 campaign last year, in which they finished 7th in the league and a 2-5 conference record. In the GLVC preseason poll just released, the coaches have picked Quincy to finish 6th. Joining us here today is head coach Gary Bass, senior offensive lineman B.J. Wilson, and senior Peyten Chappel. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And, Coach, welcome back to the kickoff event. You enter your 6th season as the head coach. Tell us what we can expect to see from the Quincy Hawks this year.
I would tell us it's the best football program, or best football team we've had in the 10 years I've been here, all in all, both as a coordinator and now as a head coach. We've had a ton of kids that sacrificed the summer and stayed over for us to get better in the weight room and everything else, and we had a lot of returning starters coming back, and our guys had a great spring and a ton of leadership in the right places, both in coaching and players. So really, really excited about this football season and can't wait for it to get going.
Coach, let's talk about the offense. A lot of players returning this year, including 8 starters on the offensive side of the ball, which includes BJ sitting next to you. Tell us about what we expect from the offense this year.
Score a lot. We've got everybody coming back in that room, quarterbacks, running backs, tight end, offensive line, most of our receiving core. We put up a lot of points last year, and we're able to score a ton against a lot of good football teams. And for us, we're going to go out, and our goal is to do better than we did last year. Broke all the school scoring records last year. Next is to continue to compile on top of that. So score a lot and often.
Coach, thank you. BJ, you had a long tenure at Quincy University, and you're back for your senior season. Talk about how you're feeling about this upcoming season and the approach in your final year with the Hawks.
I'm feeling great about it. Honestly, it's just good to see all my younger teammates making a lot of progress. We had a lot of kids that didn't get to really play a full season of college football until last year. They have that experience, so I'm excited to see what they're going to put out on the field this upcoming year. With myself, it's just about taking care of my body. I'm getting old, so I just got to make sure we make it through the season, man.
Old is what we are. You're still really young yet. You have a lot of time.
Sixth year in college, 2 degrees.
Hey, but you know what? That's accomplishing a lot.
It
is.
Is.
A 6-year period, and also working within a pandemic as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thank you. Coach, preview the defense first. 9 returners come back, including Peyten, who was a huge part of that unit with 63 solo tackles, 4.5 for a loss, a pair of sacks, 5 interceptions. What are some of the things you're looking for out of the defense this year?
I think one of the biggest things is continuity, consistency. We did a great job of forcing turnovers last year. We led the country in forced turnovers. We just did not do a good enough job in situational football and getting people off the field. Coach Pannone, our new defensive coordinator, has done a phenomenal job with the rest of our defensive staff. One, being simple in what we were trying to accomplish defensively and allow our kids to go out and play fast. I felt like in the past sometimes it's been paralysis by analysis, and I think we've tried to simplify it as much as we could moving forward for our guys to be able to get onto a football field and to be able to play as fast and hard as humanly possible while still having answers. So for defensively, I expect the same things as far as a lot of things we were able to force turnover-wise last year, and for us to be able to shore up some things, especially in situational football. I think for us to get better in third down and better in the red zone, that'll help eliminate some of the yards, extra points, and things that happened to us last year.
Coach, thank you. Peyten, you're in a similar situation as BJ, having been part of the team for several years. Talk about things as you enter your final season and give us some perspective on how things have been for you.
I'm excited to get going. I'm excited to see what this season has to bring for us. Our defense is going to play fast this year and confident, and we're excited to see what happens.
Thank you, Coach. We noticed no returning special teams players were listed in your preseason capsule. With that in mind, give us some insight on what you're expecting from that new group.
Well, considering the head coach is the special teams guy, that's kind of funny, isn't it? Well, Michael Klotz was the first team all-conference kicker. I mean, he broke school scoring records. The kid was phenomenal in kickoff. I think he had 25 or 27 touchbacks and was like 15 of 18 in field goals. So replacing him is not going to be easy. I know we've got 3 guys that are battling out and what we're trying to accomplish right now. Bryce Broussard, who did punt for us last year. And we've also got Drew Linzen, who redshirted for us last year, and Devin Parrott from this area as well. So we got 3 guys that are going to battle out during camp. Long snapper-wise, you lost Brandon Tate, who was absolutely a gunslinger when it came to long snapping. But we've got 2 guys we feel in place. So I think the biggest thing for us is we got some guys that are going to do a great job that are just untapped, and guys that we've not been able to showcase just yet because we've had guys like Mikey that have been able to do what they needed to do at a high level.
Coach, finally, let's talk about the schedule and how you're preparing for what's coming up in the 2022 season.
I know the biggest thing for me is talk to our guys about faceless and nameless opponents. I think we've got to take care of our own business. We got to take care of ourselves. That goes from practice and game planning and everything else. We got to do what we do, and we got to do it at a higher level than everybody else. We've got to be disciplined. We've got to be structured, and we got to go out there and capitalize on other teams' mistakes. There were a lot of things last year that was really good about the season, from how we started, the way we played against Midwestern State, to we're the 2 years in a row playing Lindenwood within 1 touchdown both games, having an opportunity to win that one. Unfortunately, blowing a lead against McKendree last year after having a very large lead. So we're right on the cusp of being able to do a lot of really good things for us right now as a football program. And I think this schedule allows us to be able to do those things. We have some young players in some certain places. We're going to start off with some Thursday night games, which will be the first in school history. But getting a couple games at home to get our feet wet and kind of get things moving around from that standpoint are going to be huge. And we're really excited about what our schedule shows and where we're able to get to in the fall.
Advantage or disadvantage playing home early or away early?
I would say home early, just because you get to keep them in a routine, and I think momentum's a big thing. I think it's very, very difficult. I know for us, we started off pretty strong last year, schedule-wise, and then kind of once, unfortunately, we blew that lead against McKendree, it kind of wavered off a little bit. We lost a lot of momentum. So for us, we've got to do a really good job early on of establishing that momentum and getting us where we want to go, and then after that, being able to continue to progress it moving forward. So I don't have a druther one way or the other. If I had to pick one, I'd probably say I'd rather start at home and then go from there.
Coach B.J. Peyten, thanks so much for joining us today, and best of luck to you and the rest of the Hawks this season.